I can report the first time I am acting like an adult in this game. So
I'm so proud of you, dude.
not only was I not liquidated on any of my positions, I am now feet back with every position going up.
Oh,
It took things easier. I finally came down. You don't need that big leverage. You game on.
I'm so proud of you, dude. Like, you are getting 100x an account this cycle, 100x.
Yeah, that things like you hear things like the tortoise and the hare stories, and you just think, well, that's bullshit, if you know what I mean. But a little less leverage, easier on the
The,
position size.
the, for people who can't, for people who can't math, it's like it seems like how am I going to get there? I'm like the complaints we were getting a while ago from like I'm only going up 5 or 10% a day. Motherfucker, do you realize that 5% a day takes you from $1,000 to $1 billion in a year? It's like come on, guys, like let's math a little bit here. Like this is not a math. Like I don't want to use too much math, but I can't have it be a math-free zone.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, welcome everybody. It is a called a bull market for a reason. It wants to throw you off. So we'll hand over
Damn
to
straight it does.
Scott, who's going to help us navigate it.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Let's just get straight into it. The market took a really, really massive punch this week. But it's not how hard you can hit, it's how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, which I quite like. It shrugged it off. So Bitcoin got tagged the all-time highs, shat the bed, bounced back in that same day, and we're going up. Today we went up less than yesterday. So I'm not 100% convinced. Let's look at a 1 hour chart here. Oh, Jesus. No, that's sold. Okay. I'm not 100% convinced that we don't have something that looks like another scare the children moment before we go up. If we get this, and I'm not saying we get it, probably only intraday today. We have a strong seasonality in the first 4 hours of the day from this time onwards. For the next 4 hours, we have kind of a tendency to go down, and this is based on some maths that I won't bore you with. So I think we could be looking at down to here, maybe worst case down to here, and then up only. But we're seeing some very, very interesting things. So when I called alt season on the 26th of February, who fucking believed me, right? Like we called it, we've got it right. We've been jagging every single twist and turn of this market. We got the top on the 26th of January. We got the lows. We got the alt season. We even got a little bit of warning, which I personally didn't take because I was fucking tired traveling back from Japan, and I lost like 20% of my accounts this week, which I'm dirty on myself about. But we'll get to that. So the sellers got forced out of their positions. Now, this is a game changer for all of you. And my altcoin discretionary accounts are back to 530K, which is pissing me off. I was kind of hoping they'd be at $1 million by now. And now they have to chase. I actually have to chase. I have to get back in all these fucking things that I was very, very happy with that I'm not in anymore. I know this is true because I'm one of them. Now, the reason this is all happening is because of these ETF flows. You can see that this is just a straight march up with very little, the institutions, as Bitcoin goes up, the ETF owners are forced to go into the market and buy Bitcoin, which pushes the price of Bitcoin up, which attracts more retail degens, which attracts more institutional money. And it's just this virtuous circle. This is what's driving it. It's not the halving. The halving, by the way, is bullshit. If you think you're the first person who's figured out that halvings happen every 4 years, you ain't going to make it. Like the halving is bullshit, and the maths don't back it up. And we'll dig into it one day soon, but just don't believe that shit. That's a little bit hype here. So you might not grasp fully that once $10 billion worth of institutional buying has to happen, none of the stuff that you think works anymore. Technical analysis doesn't work anymore. Support works, resistance doesn't. So what we have is a dream run for us with a catch. And, these spot flows, 4.8 billion, 4.5 billion, 9.5 billion, 10 billion the last couple of days. This is 480 million, 450 million, 950 million, and 1 billion. Just in the last couple of days, in the last 5 days, that's, 25% of the whole thing. But there's a catch. There is always a catch with finance. So there's not many free lunches in finance. There's only one. And the one free lunch is diversification. We're going to see higher volatility going forward. You think that was a crash that we had a couple of days ago? I got news for you. The next one's going to be worse. The one after that's going to be worse. The one after that's going to be worse. And what's going to happen is we're going to get a series of crashes that with incredible bounces that are just going to lull us into a false sense of security that crashes are easy to buy the bounce and free money. And then one fine day, it's going to riggedy wreck us. So my job is to keep my finger on the pulse and tell you when, hey guys, this shit's getting a little bit crazy. Like, don't buy this dip. Like, let's get the fuck out and stand on the sidelines. That's my job. And I'm going to do that job for you. These strong coins out of the gate. This is after the dip. Render, NIA, Rune, SEI, AVAX, GAL, DYDX, but Render, NIA, and Rune, standouts. Now, the thing that I want you to point out to take notice of is the dark blue line is Bitcoin. Have you ever seen Bitcoin down the bottom of coins lately? Bitcoin's always been up near the top of the pack. Now everything is kicking Bitcoin's ass. This is a very, very, very big change in the market from 3 or 4 days ago, right? 3 or 4 days ago, Bitcoin was like, holy fuck, check out the big balls on Bitcoin. Now that all the retail dumbasses have aped into Bitcoin, they're going to be looking enviously at alts going, I bought my Bitcoin at 69,000 and it's still at 69,000, but all these alts are up 50%. It's only going to take so long before they just can't help themselves and they ape into alts. And it creates that same positive feedback loop in alts where the shit rolls downhill and the profits from Bitcoin roll into altcoins. And they're going to roll the same way they always do. First of all, like a gateway drug into Ethereum because it's the altcoin that people feel safe with, and then into Solana, and then it's going to roll downhill into all the dumb shit, some of the dumb shit that we're in, like Updog and Retardio and all that sort of stuff. And when all that stuff moons, chances are everyone's going to get wrecked for a little bit, and then we'll start again. That's just the normal thing. So 100x Coin Club, I did not cover myself in glory. Some of our members did amazingly well. Dan Mitchell, fucking shout out to that legend. He bought a bunch of Woo and Nia, the two strongest coins, on stink bids, like we've been discussing. He survived the crash, back to account highs again. Sean McMahon followed the rules, reduced leverage, bought the dip, made 65% on his account in one day. Fuck yeah, you love to see it. Textbook play. Absolutely. Difficult stuff. Like difficult stuff. Now, the incredible historic move here is increased volatility. That's a really good thing for our trend system because trend returns technically are positively correlated with volatility. So what I mean is that when the market's just not doing much, our trend system doesn't make much. When the market's doing a lot in both directions, our trend system tends to make a shit ton of money. And FinRev, this is a 45% volatility target, just took a one-day drawdown back at all-time highs. So there's a bunch of you that are like, oh, I don't trust this FinRev system. It doesn't use stop losses. But if you think about what would have happened if any reasonable stop loss you had, where would your stop loss be for, say, your stop loss would probably be here. You would have got stopped out, saved yourself 5 minutes of pain, and now you're back here. So stop losses in general, there's a reason why professionals don't use them. There's a reason why no good algo trading firm in the world uses stop losses. There's a reason why you get fired for even suggesting it. And yet I'm aware it's the hill that retail traders will always die on. You have to use stop losses. You don't have to use stop losses. There's some exceptions, but yeah. So FINREV back at all-time highs. Stop losses have a very high probability of getting you out at the absolute time that you really don't want to drop a market or a stop loss order is a market order. You really don't want to drop a market order into certain order books, and like the order book we had 2 days ago. Now, I hope you guys can finally see why, and see that we're in a bull market. You should be long. You should be holding the portfolio of the longest coins, and this is why. You don't want to be doing it with leverage. FINREV doesn't use leverage. Even at high vol targets, it doesn't use leverage. You know, and so it's pretty much a way of you not being able to fuck it up. Now, you can see how it works here. This is Bitcoin. As the market starts going sideways and down, it loses momentum. We're measuring momentum. And so we gradually scale out of positions when things look like they might go bad. And then as soon as things start looking sunny and everything's good again, we just scale back into them. It's not a big deal. We scale in, we scale out every single day. The daily rollover just happened, so let's take a look at should have happened by now. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Yeah, you can see. So our forecast has gone from 13.9. It's still at 13.9. Bitcoin is unchanged at a strong buy, somewhat short of a maximum buy. All of our different trend systems, the moving average crossovers, the Bollinger Bands, the breakouts, floor ceiling, normalized momentum, MACD momentum, they're all pretty similar. It's all looking pretty fucking good. Now, trend following math, which I won't bore you with, is that momentum effects work better in higher volatility. There's another aspect to volatility math, which is that volatility is much more predictable than price. So when volatility starts rising from a low base, and you can see our low base was here, the lowest volatility ever, this is the time when we can reasonably assume that volatility is going to keep rising. Where are we now? We're right here, which is below the lowest volatility we had during any of the previous bull markets. We can reasonably expect at least double, probably triple the volatility that we see now. So if you think yesterday's crash was a bit wild and woolly, like look at some of these ones that we had in the past. Those were legit scary. This one, I remember this one happened while I was at lunch with a top 10 trader on Binance and my buddy Antoine. We were both sitting having lunch in Bangkok together, and this guy's like literally a top 10 on the Binance leaderboard market maker, and he was melting. He was absolutely melting. So we can expect more and worse. That we can expect wild times. Volatility comes at a price. High leverage can hurt you bad. Shout out to Ian, who dialed his leverage back like I told everyone to do, but didn't do myself, because I was tired, and fatigue makes cowards of us all. And it got me. It got me. It really, and it's hurting my feelings. So I'll just digress a little to what do you do when you make a trading mistake? The first thing you got to do is you can't save your ass and your face at the same time. You got to fess up. When you make a trading mistake, immediate fess up, no matter what. If you find yourself in a position that you shouldn't be in, immediately get out of it. Don't check the price. Don't try and get cute. Just get the fuck out. If you find yourself in an oversized position, reduce the position to the correct size. What the closest analogy to this is airplane crashes. So they've done huge analysis of what causes airplane crashes, and it's never one thing. What happens is they make a little mistake, and then they overcorrect, and then they overcorrect, and then they overcorrect, and then they crash. So what will hurt you in trading is a cascade of errors. It's very much a first domino situation. As soon as you notice that you're making a trading error, and a trading error is too big a size for the risk that you should be taking, what happened to me was I was aware that volatility had risen and my position sizes were let me just stop and restart video. And my position sizes were too big. I failed to act on it. Why? Because I was tired, because I was traveling. I thought I'd wait overnight and do it the next day, and the next day never came. That's what happened to me. So fortunately, I warned all you guys. So the last few hours in Bitcoin price action is the kind of thing we see before another one of these flash crashes. No new positions, lighten up on the leverage, be cautious, be cool. It's a buying opportunity. It might squeeze to 69K, which is exactly where it squeezed to, but it's likely to be a very wild ride. So those of you who took the warning, congratulations. Like really, that's another underappreciated part of trading, is that we don't give ourselves enough credit. If you lightened up on the leverage, if you held your nerve through what just happened, you are a great fucking trader. And you need to acknowledge that. You need to acknowledge that for one day, you did as good as anyone in the world. You did better than 90% of trained professionals, and you are an absolute animal. And you can take confidence in that. Even if you've only been trading for a couple of months, if you did it right on that day, you have jumped up several levels in competence, several levels in skill. You should be feeling like a winner because you are in fact winning. Now, which dips should you buy? This is a good question. There's an old trading dictum that nothing fast lasts. So if you see a really fast dip, and we can see this in stock markets as well, the two fastest dips in recorded history were 1987. I have mentors who were trading the floor then. You just couldn't you couldn't do anything. 87 bounced back straight away. 2020 was the second fastest dip. And we know what happened then. As soon as that dip was over in a couple of weeks, it was like 2 weeks of dip and then up only in the stock market, quadrupled. Anything fast is inherently suspect. Now, because crypto happened so fast, a lot of these dips are going to literally be single day things. That may not be the case going forward. As volatility increases, we can look for not just single day dips, but 3 to 5 day dips. Now, if you think about it, a single day dip is pretty easy to manage, right? Like you see the dip, you reflexively buy it. Fuck it, we bought. 5 day dip, it can't quite be that certain. It's a higher degree of difficulty. So we've got to be very careful about those. Now, the biggest 5-minute candle on the way down, let's just look at Solana because we've got it open. All right, super easy, right? Is there any doubt at all that this is the biggest candle that we see? Anyone got any doubt that they can recognize that in real time? Like, this isn't rocket surgery. The only thing that can cause Solana to drop from 126 to $104 is people getting liquidated, riggedy wrecked. You don't even need to load up liquidations because you know that liquidations are going to be happening here. You see this, the first thing that you do is go, okay, about the same distance down. Like let's place a couple of little bids, small bids, lower and lower and lower. And when you see open interest, you can place these stink bids in advance, and you can be reasonably comfortable that you're going to catch at least one or two. Maybe this is how you do it. If you're in the order book and you're wanting to get cute, I don't necessarily recommend being in the order book all the time. It grinds you down. But if you wanted to do that. So where are we now? Just completely retraced, and Solana's back up to old highs. Put yourself in the position of the guy who got forced out of his Solana position. I'm looking at that going, fuck, I'd really want my Solana back. At some point, I'm going to have to buy it. This fucker's going to $500, right? Like it's going to be a $500 coin. So when you see the strongest coins wipe out hardest, now let's look a little bit in detail at that. So I put a vertical line through our little crash. So what were the strongest coins before then? Phil, Lever, Doge. So what's down the bottom here? Doge, Lever. So we see 2 out of our 3 hottest coins completely fucked. That's what happens in what's called a momentum crash. Now, it's important to understand what a momentum crash is. A momentum crash is not anything other than an absence of buyers. These coins were previously so hot. These coins were previously so hot that there was an exhaustion of buyers. So an exhaustion of buyers means there's no one else to keep driving the price up, means that there's no one to buy it when it starts falling because they've already bought. Everyone's already fully invested in Doge and they've got no spare cash to buy it on the way down. And the leverage traders who would ordinarily buy it are busy getting, prison raped for the next 15 minutes. So they're not buying shit. Like they're just worrying, am I going to die or not? And so there's no support. So when you see a crash where the hot coins get wiped out the hardest, this is an extremely good dip to buy. What you want to see is these momentum crashes are bigger the more leverage is in the system. Leverage is open interest. When you see open interest wiped out, that's really, really great. When there's blood in the streets, you should buy. JP Morgan said that. But what should you buy? It's pretty fucking easy, actually. You should buy whatever's bouncing the hardest. So what you do, draw a little vertical line, go to here and go vertical line, put a vertical line right where the crash happened, move your cursor just to the left of it, put everything starting from the same spot, and the stuff that's bouncing hardest, you take a close look at. That's basically what you do. And Doge is bouncing pretty hard. This meme sector play is still on like Donkey Kong. Okay, let's take some coin requests here. Ian, could you read out some coin requests, please? No little shitter coins. I don't want to. This isn't the place for doing stuff that nobody's ever heard of. But if there's anything people want me to look at now, let's spend 5 minutes doing.
Yeah, there's I mean, straight away, I&J, Phil, Wu, Helium. There was also, could you have a look at the open interest on Sol for Chaz Russ?
Sure.
Oh yeah, there's some good coin. Gala, I think that's gonna pop.
Gala or Gal?
Gala.
All right. What is Gala, by the way? It's a gaming thing, right?
Just a scam. That's how I think of every one of them. I should, but just a scam.
Okay. Okay, so we've got open interest. Let's get rid of this. Okay, we got liquidation, funding rate. Okay. Okay. anytime you see premium, which is the difference between spot and futures, go from positive right down to negative, this means that futures dropped way below spot. It means things are far from fair value. You can buy that dip with confidence. What we want to see is open interest wiped out back to a level where it was. So you can see that INJ wiped it out back to where we were back to February 24th. That's nice and positive. So that means that we've wiped out a lot of leverage. There's a lot of time for degens to get back into the game. The open interest is rising steadily as price is rising. Very positive. Okay, what's the next one, man? Woo. And you're going to see most of these look the same. So Woo is basically flirting with all-time highs. Here we wiped out open interest, but it built incredibly quickly. Here we're losing a bit of open interest. So people are double topping. People are selling out at the double top. So what that likely means is Woo looks really good long-term. All these liquidations, the biggest liquidation we've had since the big fuck up in 3rd of January. All very positive. In the next day or so, Woo was likely to pull back over the next day or so.
Nice.
What else, Ian? Getting cranky. Sure. So Uni had the big reprice based on their rule change, right? This was the rule change. They're going to distribute profits. Okay. Open interest is steadily coming down after that, meaning motherfuckers are taking profits. We have a medium liquidation and a very small rise in open interest. We need to do a little more investigation on this. So what I want to see is spot buying or, okay, I'll show you how to do it. So we're going to go to Coinalyze. We're going to click on Uniswap. We're going to add some indicators. And we're going to go CVD spot and CVD futures. And what we want to see, okay, you can see CVD is cumulative volume delta. It's the amount of money traded at the bid less the amount of money traded at the ask. So it tells us who's doing market buy orders. Market sell orders are aggressive sellers. Market buy orders are aggressive buyers. So what we see here is that while the futures traders are fucking off, the spot buyers are heavily in this and then getting out and then heavily in. So we see some spot buying. Let's have a quick look at it. Yeah, this one's likely to fuck around for a couple of days at least. I mean, this is a very strong coin. Like this is an undeniably strong coin. If we look at it in context, where should it be? It should be here. And ultimately, if we get a full bull cycle, it'll go way past here. It'll probably double or triple that. So long-term, yes. In the next week, I wouldn't expect this to outperform in the next week. Next one, please, Ian.
XRP.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Every fucking week, this stupid fucking shitcoin. Just sell it.
It's all right. B&B's next.
B&B, I'm red hot on. I'm red hot on. Okay, huge wipeout. Where are we in open interest? Didn't wipe out much on it. Looks a lot like all the others. Let's have a look at the chart. You shouldn't be holding this, guys. Why shouldn't you be holding this? Because it's at the same price it fucking was in July. Like everyone else is making massive gains. The only possible reason for holding this absolute bucket of shit is because you're telling yourself, I can't sell it because I bought it back here. I can't sell it and make a loss. Of course you can fucking sell it and make a loss. Wash your brains out with soap if you're thinking that way. It's just retarded. You can sell it and buy something else and buy it back later, and you know it'll have its day in the sun. But in that time, if you wait another year to wait for it to actually do something, fuck. It's really dumb trading. Don't be dumb. Render, super strong. I mean, look at that. Fucking off to the races, price discovery, highest price ever.
But Phil.
Boy, takes a punch and bounces back. Okay, so for those of you who know a bit about price action, this formation here, where we get a big one-day down move and then the following day recaptures it, is equivalent to a giant big hammer candle. This is like a double hammer. What this means is that it took the hardest punch it could possibly take and just the canvas and it's ready to go. Now, if you'll notice, we have our price action setup. We have lowest low in many bars. We have one or more higher closes. We have one or more lower closes. As soon as it breaks this red line, it's going to jam. Really good. Matic.
Nice.
Already at new highs. Undergoing price discovery. Strong coin. It's a sector rotation where we're in the majors. PHB, it's doing very well. Let's go. Whoa!
Wow.
Wow. Takes the punch, can't be hurt. Like that's the way you got to figure it, is like, oh, it went down, like it went down and it went up. V-Chain, Dinosaur Coin, perpetual disappointment. Let's look at it in context with others. I strongly suspect that no one in the world is so this is our big drop. V-Chain near the bottom. You shouldn't be holding this. And if we look at this on a longer basis, going back to when our bull market started, which was mid-October, where is V-Chain? It's right down the bottom. What I strongly suspect is the only reason you've got V-Chain in your portfolio is because you're a bag holder from the last one and you've held it for 5 years and you can't hold until you get money back. Know this. I can't sell it until I get my money back is classic loser thinking. It's the worst of all trading loser thinking. If you trade with that stupid thought lodged in your brain, you will not make money this cycle. I can't be any clearer about it than that. If you do that, if you're thinking that way, I can't sell it, it shows me a loss, you're fucked. You need to stop trading. Sell the losers, buy the winners. You know, this is the game. Sell the losers, buy the winners. This is the game. If you can't get down with that game, you can't play this game because you're going to lose at it. I don't want to bullshit you here. Link.
I'm really bullish on Link. If we get a full cycle, I think Link is just going to keep on giving.
I don't disagree. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at how it's bouncing. Are you bouncing? Oh no, wrong chart. Sorry, my bad.
Link was in a 70% move trading range for over a year. And that's all it did. Go up 70%, down 70%. Reliable as clockwork.
Okay, so let's look at the bounce. Not yet, guys. Not yet. I'm a Link fan. Those Link Marines are absolute fucking steel balls, guys. Not yet. Ken, no, you don't really need price action setups. Price action setups are like none of this is a crystal ball. It's more like looking outside and seeing is it rainy or sunny. That's really what it is. Jasmine, interesting coin. Was very, very strong. Interested in this. Look at that. Jasmine's going. You can see it's starting to accelerate past its peers. OP. Let's do OP and then Neo, and that's about all we got time for. Okay, OP, middle of the, yeah, nah. And FET, the strongest. Let's do Neo, dinosaur coin. Got a soft spot for. No. Oh, Gala. Yeah, let's do Gala. Middle of the pack, average. Let's have a quick look at. Okay. Big open interest wipeout, but you can see that before Gala hit its highs, open interest was coming down. So what we can reasonably assume is that there was some motherfuckers in the know who were getting out ahead of the shit, right? They used any bounce to get out of their shit. There are people dumping Gala. Be very, very careful with this coin right now. Okay, guys, let's move on. Interesting stuff there, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
my philosophy of altcoin trading is that you need to do whatever you need to do to make a profit right now. Now, right now, momentum effects are really where it's at. We've got a very strong momentum market. You can tell it's a strong momentum market because FinRev's making all the money. So if that's making all the money, then FinRev works on momentum, so you can be reasonably sure that momentum is working. If FinRev is in drawdown, you want to stop doing this. The second thing is knife catching, which some of our members with more testicular fortitude managed to catch. Well done to those who profited. Pump and dumps, we're not going to see for, I was expecting in 1 to 2 weeks. I think probably by next week, we'll start to see some pump and dumps again. So I'm going to start to watch out for this. Now, narrative plays, the two obvious narrative plays are AI and memes. Especially Solana at new highs. You can expect the Solana shitters to all catch a bid. At a local Solana top, you should expect all of the dog with hat and the stupider ones, like right down to Retardio. You should make... I'm expecting Retardio to be at least 100 million, potentially 200 million, and an outlier chance of $500 million market cap. And it's at like $17 million market cap now. Paul got the catch and double. Todd caught super without losing a digit. Do you think Bonk has more life? I think as long as Solana has life, Bonk has life. That's what I think. Okay, so let's move on. So breakout effects are easy wins here. Any coin with reasonable size. This works better on bigger coins than smaller coins. In fact, it negative works on the little shitters. This is something that we should cover today. Let's say you have, Retardio, which I do. Car worth of this stupid thing. When they start going up real hard, you want to be scaling out. This is not the type of thing that you want to bet will go forever. Right now, it's for those who have this one, it's showing exactly the sort of price action I want. Didn't get hit too hard in the dump, and it's shaking out a bunch of weak hands. This one's going to go again. The one that is really banging for us right now. I hope it is. Maybe it's not. Yeah, it is. There we go. We're at $25 million market cap on Ninja Dog with Nunchucks. It's a copy of Dog with Hat, but on INJ. Okay, so about these small coins, you shouldn't be waiting for me to tell you to take profits. Every time, what I do and what I suggest you do is every time you feel like doing one of these, bank 25% of what you got left. You should always be banking profits out of these things. There's a bunch of maths behind it, which I'll bore you if you go into it. That one's not going to load. So dip buys using our price action, set up lowest low in 10 bars, one or more higher closes, one or more lower closes. This is still money. Every time you see a dip, you can. This is just money. Like you can just CDP Fisher, great question. If I'm just starting 100x Coin Club, you want to for the next 3 months, you want to write a portfolio and be fully invested without leverage. So what I suggest is splitting up about, depending on how aggressive you are and how small it is, the smaller your account is, the more concentrated you have to be. If you're trading with a $2,000 or $3,000 account, no more than 5 coins. If you're trading with $500,000 like I am, then you probably want to spread it out a little bit more. And you want to have mostly the larger sized established coins. Why? Because they're less riskier. And then every now and again, you want to have a few flyers that might come off. Like I've got this dumbass my password's not entering. I've got this dumbass Retardio thing. You want to have a couple of little outlier bets. Freedom, I can't ever figure out if I should add to winners or constantly take profits. Add to winners on the big coins, take profits on the little shit ones. That's the way. Can you set limits for shit coins like Retardio? Yes, you can. You do it in a Telegram bot called Unibot that runs inside of Telegram, and you can set DCA orders, and you can set limit profit taking orders, and you can set them at percentage profit. So you can say, I want to take 50% at 3x. I want to take another 25% at 5x. That's the way to do it. And in the group, I posted a video from my boy Antoine, good looking French boy, really smart cat. Okay, knife catching, something I haven't covered. Well, I covered it last week, but knife catching is a really good play for right now. You know, when prices get pushed far from fair value, you can buy something at less than it's worth. It's always, if your neighbor was going through a divorce and he walked up to your door and said, look, my wife is going to get half this car, but I'll sell it to you. I'll sell you my Porsche for like $5,000. You just say yes. You just go and get the $5,000. And that's analogous to the situation. You get people who are hurt who just have to get out. They don't have a choice. So much of my profit has come from taking advantage of dumbasses and their stupid stop losses. I recommend not using them except in very rare circumstances, mostly shorts and mostly very small coins. Stop losses generally represent a cognitive mistake or a position sizing mistake. You won't find them anywhere in the professional world. I know this is controversial. I know some of you are going to be hating me and saying, oh, my favorite guy says you have to use stops. And my risk reward ratio is the difference between my stop loss and my entry price and my target. And I used to believe that too. And it's completely wrong, completely indefensively, unfixably wrong. And it has a bunch of problems that'll completely wreck you in the long time. So don't do it. Yeah, we've seen enough examples of knife catching. Okay, so zoom out and look at the biggest picture. Bitcoin is at all-time highs. For those of you who think that we're going to double top again, a triple tops just don't happen. You cannot, if you go back in any major market 100 years, you won't find a triple top. Triple tops, we might fuck around a bit here, but it's on. Like we have gone, really, in 3 months, we've gone from like 25 grand to 69 grand. You really think people don't understand how much money there is to be made in crypto right now? This one's going all the way up, and these guys are catching up. It's the time for it to catch up. Telegram, not telegraph. I'm hard to understand, but very smart. This is true. This is all very true. So what do I think is going to happen? I think that alt season takes over from Bitcoin strength now. I think the bigger alts are going to kick it off first, and the medium size next. I'm looking at things like Pendle, SEI, things like that. And then I'm looking for everything to move. You guys almost couldn't fuck it up. Even the XRP morons are probably going to catch a BD. Then you're going to look for the garbage to float for the surface. Let me just grab you the link for Unibots. Yeah. Now I'm going to have to, I'll post it in the group. Then our signal to get very cautious is going to be when all these garbage shit coins that we're in start to move. When people start posting 8-figure profit and losses on Updog and shit like that's our time to whoa, 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 whoa. And then we're probably going to crash / pull back a bit bigger than last time, at least a month. I think that XRP holders are the dumbest people in crypto, and that's really saying something. They're as equally dumb as the HEX holders, who are exceptionally dumb. I think if you hold a coin that goes down for years and years at a time and you don't sell it, then you're dumb. I think that's an objective measure of being dumb. Okay. How do I know we're in alt season? Because this is the bounce off the lows. Bitcoin is down here and all the alts are going up. Pretty much it. So the plan has always been, we're going to get the bag with the 100x coin club. We're going to secure the bag so we don't fuck it up. We're going to 10x our winnings with our automated system, and then generational wealth and freedom. So here's the play. Every time you bank a winner, you dump the profits in FinRev to secure the bag. The best indicator that we actually have is how well FinRev is doing, because it tells us how good momentum trading is doing. It shows that we can expect strong gains for a little while. We're practicing what I call the 4 pillars of effective shitcoinery: the pump and dumps, the knife catching, the narrative plays, and the momentum effects. Right now, knife catching, narrative plays, momentum effects. I'm waiting for pump and dumps to get started again. I'd love to catch a few dumps. These aren't going to last forever. This is, I'm a great trader, but no one's as good as the results that we've been getting lately. Like, no one is that good. So what you have to assume is that it's not me, it's the market making me look better than I am. The game is not how much you make, it's how much you keep. Blue Lance 162, really good question. I have 10K 50-50 in spot and derivatives, 10 coins in each. What would I do? I would make sure your derivatives leverage is not over 2.0 right now. I think that would be safe. I'm going to show you in a few minutes how we take the profits from the 100x coin club and get about 10xing that on autopilot without ever risking your profit. And you might think that's hype, but since 2019, what I'm going to show you today is turned a $10,000 starting investment into $203,000. Today, you're going to see a press buttons make money system that makes money every single year since we started in 2019. That's never had a losing. It doesn't have 6.3 million. It has 8. I'll show you in a sec. I'll show you in a sec, but it's a fucking lot. 8 point something. And it makes 100% per year, and it earns risk-adjusted returns better than George Soros and Ray Dalio put together. Our customers, no, we didn't make $1 million per week. We didn't. We are at $8.6 million, and we made, 8.6 and 6.3. We made $2.3 million in the last month for our clients. Fucking hell yeah. It works in bull markets and it works in bear markets. It printed money when SBF went broke. Every time some crypto thing shits the bed, the market always starts to adjust first. So we're generally always short right before it shits the bed. Why? Because insiders realize things are about to shit the bed, and they start selling ahead of the bad news. And so the markets are generally going down ahead of the bad news. It requires no thinking, no luck, no predictions. You don't have to know anything about crypto or blockchain. I know very little. I'm a smooth brain. And it runs on autopilot. You don't need to check it at all. It takes 3 minutes to set up. If you can set up Netflix, you can do this. It's a little bit more complicated with DYDX, but not too bad. It requires zero technical skill. It takes the risk out of crypto because it makes money like clockwork in bear markets, which is the big danger. You don't want to make all this money and then give 95% of it back. I've done that before, and that sucked. It hurt my feelings. It made me feel like a loser because I was losing. 4 of the 10 biggest hedge funds in the world do exactly this. It's created countless billionaires and multimillionaires like this guy, John Henry. He's made all his money from trend following, and he owns Liverpool Football Club and the Boston Red Sox and some racing team. He does whatever the fuck he wants. This guy, one of my personal heroes, he's got a new career as a Twitter shit poster. He will he cracks jokes on Twitter all day. That's his new job. He wrote the second ever academic paper on trend following, and he now manages $150 billion and has $1.6 billion of it himself, and he deserves to look smug. I've been doing it since 2014 myself in my own accounts, both trading it manually off a spreadsheet, and lately I dumped my super fund into a fund, and these have been my results. In 2020, I did 18%. 21, I did 33%, 90% in 22, 51% 23. Year to date, it's a little bit up from that now. So it turns out that trend following's made me over $5 million worth of net worth, and I'm well on track to finish this game with like over 20 million bucks worth of net worth. Like, thank fuck for that. It's all from any market, which is trend following, and the trend is your friend. What is trend following? Trend following is the really simple idea that a coin that starts going up has a higher probability of continuing to go up. And it's a law of the universe. A body in motion tends to stay in motion. It was previously only available to the largest hedge funds in the world. Why? Because you need a lot of margin requirement to do this in TradFi, which you don't need in crypto. There's a $300 billion industry who've been doing this for 40 years. Every single firm doing it's made money. Not one firm's ever blown up. Academic literature shows it's been consistently profitable throughout the last 137 years. Done capital, it's a wild ride. Like, it's a wild ride. Not the way we do it. We're much smoother than these guys. We're much better than them, actually. So Done Capital have been doing it for 50 years. They've outperformed the S&P 500 by 500%. My retirement accounts, when I pivoted to crypto, I dumped with these guys, which has been great. So the gray line is the S&P 500, which has been really, really strong. This is my retirement accounts. I've had a CAGR since inception of 15.12%. 15% on your retirement accounts is pretty fucking good. It means you double your retirement accounts every 6 years. But we're going to do a lot better than that. This is the index of all of the firms doing trend following who've got a track record of 10 years or longer. So no fly-by-nights. You can see the S&P 500 has had its greatest period in history. Trend following has still kicked its ass. This is after fees. Turns out the first human city was in ancient Sumeria, modern-day Iraq. And fun fact, the earliest money wasn't money. They used barley for money, sacks of barley, and they kept price records on these cuneiform clay tablets, dug them up, and they found the prices of barley back 5,000 years ago. And our first human settlement. Turns out our trend following systems work really well, almost exactly as they do today, which kind of tells us something. And the very first derivatives markets from 16th century Japan, they had rice futures markets. And the pattern that I showed you, the lowest low in 10 bars, the higher close, the lower close, I didn't invent that. That came from 16th century Japan rice traders. And those motherfuckers knew what time it was. Their setup is making me money today, 400 years ago. Trend following works. To Cliff Asness, he did an analysis of how well it had worked by decade since 1880. And you can see since 1880 to the present time, there have been no losing decades. Like you've got losing years, but no losing decades. And it's absolutely beaten the stock markets. What I'm trying to say is this is as close to a law of gravity as we have in financial markets. It just works. Works in stocks, bonds, real estate, FX. It works in every country in the world. It works for as long as money has existed. It's worked for 10,000 years. Why? Because it's based on human greed and human fear. And we are still greedy. We are still fearful. Human psychology hasn't changed, and it will not change because we're the same fucking cavemen wearing shoes that don't think we're cavemen that we've always been. The amazing thing, though, the opportunity of our lifetimes is that because crypto is so much newer, so much riskier, there's so much bullshit, even involved in setting up the accounts, that it works 6 times as well. So if we look at crypto in Bitcoin in yellow, makes a lot of money, shits the bed. This was an 83% drawdown. Makes incredible amount of money. You lose half of it. you think it's fucked. You think it's going to be okay. It breaks your heart. Looks like it's going to be okay, but it's far from okay. Maybe you buy the dip and, well, that was a bad dip to buy. And then maybe you think this is a bottom. It can't go down any lower. And then it goes down lower. And then Sam Bankman-Fried steals everyone's money. And then you're coming back and now you're back to square. But with Bitcoin, you have to time the exact top. You got to know when to sell. If you're gonna hodl, you have to know when to sell. And that's really fucking hard. This solves the when do you sell problem. So look at the little peaks and troughs in our system. You keep the money you've made. You've always got access to liquidity. You want to buy a house, you want to buy a car, you want to buy a ring for your girlfriend, 10 clicks of your mouse, and you've always got liquidity. Like you're never stuck way the fuck down there waiting a couple of years to get your money back. This is why we call it the greatest discovery in little guy finance. So instead of talking about it, let me show you how it works. So this is Bitcoin. We have 6 different trend following algorithms, each of which are an average of fast, medium, long, and very long term. So each algorithm is an average of 6 other algorithms. You don't need to know this. If the forecast is positive, this is our forecast, we're going long. If our forecast is negative, we're betting that it goes down. That forecast changes up or down a little bit every day. It maxes out at 20. We don't want to go too hard. And so you can see here, right when the bull market kicked off, 16th of October, when it kicked off, it's exactly when we got long. We stayed long. Well, it went a bit sideways here. We banked some profits, and then we very smoothly ramped it up. And where are we now? We're fucking balls long. We're at 14 out of a possible 20. Now, that's no big trick. Like making money when we're all making money, that's not a big trick. Let's look at when things go bad. Now, there is no worse time in crypto history than those couple of days when Sam Bankman-Fried went to jail and it looked like we were all fucked. So let's look at that. So here was a couple of days before our forecast. We had a very small long position. And then the day before all the shit started to happen with Sam, Solana was at $33. We had about a half a position. Now, put yourself in that position. You finally decided to buy the dip. I like Sam Bankman-Fried. I like his coin. I like his exchange. I'm going to buy this one. This is the one. And then the very next day, the rumors start to swirl like there's trouble in paradise. What are you going to do? You tell yourself now, I would have just got out. I would never have got caught by that. It was so obvious. The guy was just obviously a drug-addled fucking freak who couldn't even tie his. No, it wasn't. I didn't pick it. No one picked it. What everyone does is they say, I'll give it one more day. It goes down a little bit more and you go, well, I'll give it one more day. Now you're stuck. Now you're stuck. Now you can't leave. And then you get like continually raped. Now, our system, we're long. Immediately, the next day we got back to square. We got completely out of the position. The next day we got short. So we can flip-flop without human emotions. And we maximize that short position. And how did we go here? We got short, we stayed short, and we rode that short position, stayed short the whole time, rode it right to the beach. Like it ended up lower. And then only when it starts to go up a little bit, we start to get out of our short position. And then look right here. 14, $15 for Solana. Now we get long. Now, I want you to consider exactly how good an investor you'd have to be. You've just made the profit of your lifetime shorting Sam Bankman-Fried's coin. you hate that guy and you're glad he's going to jail and fuck that guy and it's so good because you've made so much money. How many of you are going to have the presence of mind to say, you know what? I think it's time to change course and get long. Let's get long. Look at how we got long. We backed some off and then we maxed some more, and we've been long to some degree or another this whole rally. And every time it starts going up, we start ramping more positions. And where are we now? We're at a 15.6 and Solana's at $140 fucking dollars. And where did this start? $21. This is what trend following can do for you. This is what trend following can do for you. You don't have to be good. You don't have to be smart. It doesn't matter if you hate the coin. It doesn't matter if you love the coin. It doesn't matter if you hate the guy who runs it. It doesn't matter if you think it's a scam. Like, some of our biggest positions are in things that I think are just terrible, terrible coins. The Honey Badger algo, it just doesn't give a shit. It takes all the emotion out of it and it profits from other people's emotions. So let me show you why it works. Okay. So let's take a look at the 2021 bull market. Happened in two stages. These are all the coins rolled together. If you held Matic and Doge and Solana, you just kicked everyone's ass, right? Like, you absolutely kicked everyone's ass. How do you know that Matic was going to be the winner? You see, before it does this, watch way here, how it's already outperforming its peers. Chili's, which was number 4 coin, started outperforming its peers. Doge, way before Elon started tweeting about it, look at it back here. The black line is outperforming all the others. Solana went from $1 to $250. If we go back in time, you can see that Solana just started to outperform everything. This is how it works. Now let's look at it in the second half of the bull market as well. 2021, it kicked off in the 1st of July, and let's run it for the rest of the year. Okay, let's see what we see. No, sorry, I'm messing up there. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, you can see that the biggest winning coins in the second half of the bull market were Sand. Now, let's make this a bit easier to see. You can see that Sand was the standout winning coin. We owned this coin in that market. See how it started outperforming everything right at the start? FTM, same deal. You can see clearly it's outperforming at the start, and we'll see this all the way down. This isn't like bullshit opinions like in Facebook groups. I like this coin. My bro said this is a hot tip. That's all fucking nonsense. This is maths. You can see that the coins that start outperforming always outperform. We see it now. We've always seen it. So you now possess the ability to know with absolute certainty which coins are going to be the moonshot in this 2024 bull market. It's pretty fucking obvious, guys. This is not mystery. Now let me show you how to take the thinking out of it so you don't have to be smart. Take the guesswork out of it so you don't have to get confused. Take the uncertainty and skill all the way out of it and turn it into a system that doubles your money every year on autopilot with a very, very minimal drawdowns. And so you don't think it's all hype. I'm going to give you that a signal service version where you execute it yourself once a day. I'm going to give this to everyone who turns up today for free, no catch. If you want me to automate everything for you so that you can just sit back and collect the bag, I'm going to offer you the best deal you can imagine on that. We can automate the whole thing for you into a press button money printing machine. You're going to learn how to ride this bull market for all it's worth and then compound your gains into generational wealth without lifting a finger. Let's say you bought Bitcoin, $3,700. You're feeling pretty clever with yourself. You would have earned on average 57% a year in that time, while our system earned 107% in that exact same time. You made it without experiencing one single bit of the torment and pain that Bitcoin hodlers had to put up with. And at any point, you could cash your money out. You never got stuck holding the bag. You never have to like, oh, I can't sell because I can't get my money back like those XRP guys. In fact, if you bought at the absolute top of the last bull market, you bought Bitcoin for 69,000, you just got your money back yesterday. If you bought the top at 69,000 and bought altcoins, you're still 50% underwater. You've more than doubled your money with us. More. You never had to time the exit perfectly, and that's the hard bit. Like, that's the bit that no one tells you. Everyone tells you the tip. You should buy this coin. No one tells you the tap. When do I sell the coin, motherfucker? When do I sell? Because at the moment that you should be selling, you will, I promise you, you will still think that we are still so early. You will be thinking about buying real estate, quitting your job, trading this full time. It's so easy. You'll be so optimistic. You will be absolutely blinded by the money that you are making, and you will miss the top. You never experienced a losing year. You never got stuck holding the bag when the bear markets hit. And believe me, when the bigger the party, the longer the hangover. This is true. If you stuck $10,000 back in 2019, Bitcoin, you've done pretty well. You've got 110 grand. Altcoins, 146. FinRev, 380. You just, after 5 years, sure, you got 380 grand, but just around the next couple of bands is an 8-figure retirement with 14 million bucks. Like if I can count down 5 years until I'm worth 14 million bucks and I can retire and do whatever the fuck I want forever, for like that's a dream I can get behind. I've got the results on the board. I've got practice in sticking the system. All I have to do is keep my hands off the steering wheel and I end up rich. If you wish you had a time machine, Marty, we got to go back. We got to go back and buy those Bitcoins in 2011. This is the next best thing. I've done this, a lot of this. 90 cents in every dollar I've ever made from the markets has been from doing this. I know I look like a homeless person, but I'm actually a rich man now because of this. We've been running it on crypto for a couple of years now. The results are incredible. Astonishing, incredible is the only thing that we can use it. You'll see the guys in the chat. There's no one saying, oh, good, I got it, and they rip me off. No, everyone's saying, like, I'm fucking getting rich off it. We offered it to our best clients in the middle of the bear market while everyone else was taking it right in the ass. This is what we did in the bear market. We did 100% in the bear market. I'm very fucking proud of this. And I want to point out, this was a time when crypto wasn't going up. Crypto was like a very, very sketchy proposition. No one was really interested when I knocked on their door and said, excuse me, have you got a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior Satoshi? No one fucking listened to me. All the bad stuff that happened, the Luna, the FTX, the BlockFi, the scams, the jails, we crushed it. And now we're in good market weather. It's like fucking good times. Now, this is the 2023 full year performance of the top performing hedge funds in the world. These are the big dogs. We've got one guy up here at 59%. We got another guy at 48, 44. Then it drops all the way back to 31, then 22. So outside the top 5 hedge funds, we're back down to 20%ers. And some of the biggest names in the game, 2.7, 3, 4. Hang your fucking head in shame, boys. We are, us little guys, We are beating you like a redheaded stepchild, like we've done every fucking year, like we'll do next year, like we'll do the year after. I'm going to beat all you motherfuckers. We are bum rushing this game and taking it over. Why? The reason stocks earn more than leaving your money in the bank is that stocks are riskier than leaving your money in the bank. On average, because of this, you get paid more for leaving your money in stocks on average because people don't like to take risks. Crypto is riskier than stocks, way riskier. And lo and behold, you get paid a premium. Not just for that risk, you get paid extra for it. It's 6 times as much. We promised to double people's money in a year, and we did, and every single person who's used this has made money. Everybody wins. Every child wins a prize. I've never heard of anything like that before. So let me show you. Let's get a little bit nerdy for a sec, and let me load it up. Let me show you. All right. So this is the first thing that you see. I just use this account because it's literally the longest client account that we have. So he started right from the beginning. Now, this is the amount of money he put in. This is what he's got today. Put in 58, he's got 133. This is how much profit he's made. This is his day-to-day equity fluctuation. So let's look at how it shit the bed. So he was up to 133. He had a single day drawdown down to 111. It ain't how hard you can hit. Yesterday, he was back to 127. Today, he's at all-time highs. 2 fucking days he was underwater. 2 days. Now, this is pretty simple. The next thing that you want to see is our top 10 long and short positions by value. So trading is an 80-20 game like most games. If we just looked at the top couple of positions, we'd get a pretty good handle of what's going on. TRX, Ethereum, BNB, ADA, and NEO, all these weird coins that I don't particularly like. I would never hold all of these in my discretionary accounts. Those are good. And TRB and BLZ are our only shorts right now. You click on the portfolio tab. You can sort it alphabetically. You can look at just the longs or just the shorts. We've only got 2 shorts. My favorite way to look at it is the notional value. Let's look at our biggest position. Let's look at Ethereum for something different. You click on it, you get up a chart. Okay, so let's look at it. Let's look at 3 months. So you can see that we've had some Ethereum position long the whole way. This is our forecast. We almost got out of it when it got down, got almost completely out of it, and we just ramp it back up. If Ethereum starts going up, we just hold it, and we're holding it, and look how great it's going. That's how it works. It's really, really simple. You can go to the trade history, and you can see on every day, what did we do today? So it's not making big moves all the way in and all the way out of your portfolio. What it's doing is just trimming it up and down. So, for example, we bought a little bit of XRP. I know I've been hanging shit on XRP, but it doesn't matter if I don't like it or I think it's dumb. If the algo says to buy it, we buy it. We sold $31 worth of EOS. We bought $120 worth of Link. We sold 200. We bought $200 worth of fill. So even with a relatively large account, you're not making big moves. It's very, very cost efficient. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is how to set it up. And it's pretty simple. Just load it up. Okay. So you need to have Google Authenticator or some other hardware authentication module on to stop people from logging into your account. You can't like share passwords with your mates. It all has to be on Authenticator. Yeah, you can't play fast and loose with actual money. So how you set it up is you choose your exchange. You can be Binance, BitGet, Bybit, DYDX, and KuCoin. Which one is better than the other? There's no real best. There's quite a lot of luck involved in it. And you go to your exchange account and go, I want an API key. Generate an API key, and it'll generate one for you, and copy and paste it in there. And that's it. So how do you get your money back? How do you put money in? You just deposit money into your exchange account. The next day, at 0000 Greenwich Mean Time, it says, hey, I've got 10 grand in the account. I'm going to start building the perfect portfolio for that. You don't have to ask permission. We don't have to switch it on. You don't have to contact support. There's none of that bullshit. If you want to pull money out, you don't have to ask support. You don't have to ask permission. We can't deny you. It's your account. Like an API key lets us trade. It's impossible to withdraw your money for you. You withdraw your own money. And then the next day at 0000 Greenwich Mean Time, the algo goes, wow, he pulled all his money out. We better stop trading. Just like that. Or if you've got 10 grand and you pull 5 grand out, you want to buy a holiday or whatever, the algo the next day goes, oh, wow, we've only got 5 grand. We better build the perfect 5 grand portfolio. And it just does it like that. So if you want to pull money out to live off during the bull market, you can. I'm not your daddy. You do what you want. It's your money. This is all about creating generational wealth. So at 100% a year, after 5 years, you got 320 grand, even starting with 10 grand. But around the next couple of bends, then it goes nuts. It goes up to 10 million bucks. And you can see that compound interest is where it's at. Like, this is how you make wealth. This Warren Buffett, not a particularly high rate of return. He just lived a long time and he compounded and he didn't make any mistakes. You can really, really make big money with this. So what you really want to do is relax and enjoy the ride. Know that if you can keep your hands off the steering wheel, it's going to make you rich in 5 or 10 years, no matter what you're starting with, no matter how small a grub stake you have. Please don't fuck with it. You know, I started getting messages after the drop, like, should I pull out of FINRAV? No, you fucking shouldn't. Just keep your hands off the steering wheel. It's cool. You can't. We have zero predictability what it's going to do tomorrow, but at the end of the year, we're highly confident that you're showing a profit. Why? Because it always does. Now, there's a subtle difference between bear markets and bull markets, and I want you to understand this. Bear markets have long sideways periods, and then we make a lot of money really quickly. Why? Because in crashes, we make money. You no longer have to fear crashes because almost certainly you'll be betting that it goes down during the worst of the market crash. Crashes are great. No longer be scared of crypto crashes. But in bear markets, we have very long sideways periods and very sharp, explosive growth. Bull markets are the opposite. We don't have the explosive growth. We have steady climbs, and we have short sideways periods, 19 to 31 days. This one was 19, this one was like 33. That's how it works. My goal for you is the ability to do whatever you want, wherever you want, with whoever you want, for as long as you want. And money is just a tool to buy time and freedom. Compounding here, it's going to do the real work. So who's impressed so far? Ben, it's not reoccurring. We don't automatically bill people. I don't really like that. If you want it again, you buy it again for another $9, dude. But first, I owe you a big thank you. For those of you who know me, words alone aren't enough to thank you for supporting my quest to be the best in the world. And truly, it is the honor of my life to come in every day for this community and grind like an absolute animal. And I'm going to lead it, and I am leading us all to generational wealth. That's what I'm doing, and I'm proud of it. And for those of you meeting me the first time today, Like the only way I can earn your trust is to put money in your pocket right away. So therefore, for giving me your time and attention, I'm going to give you all 6 months access to the light version of the system you've seen. We have 3 different versions. So this is far simpler. It's easy enough for a beginner to use. It doesn't trade as much as FinRev. Gets around 75% of the performance in a bull market. Not as good in a bear market. But it stops you getting wrecked in the bear market. You don't lose any money. Let me show you how to use it. It's the exact same website, login, securities you've already seen with a simplified dashboard. So all it does is tell you today's trades are, you open this one long, open this one long, and close this one. And they're equal weighted. So we're not doing any fancy position sizing. It's just equal weighted. You got 10 grand, you got 10 coins, $1,000 in each. That's like, it's simple enough that my dad can do it. These are your current open positions, and these are your recently closed positions. It's pretty simple. Now, because you still believe in crypto, because you still believe in the opportunity it presents, because you've given me your time today, and because you're here right now, I'm going to make you an incredible offer so you can start putting this to work for you right away. But I've got one more thing to show you, and truly, I've saved the best for last. You think this shit is good? What if I could double it again? What if you could earn twice as much money as the system I've just shown you? What would that do for your life? How much faster could that get you to your freedom number? So if you're starting, the red is 100% a year. The red is 200% a year. Blue is 100% a year. By year 1, still a big gain. By year 2, red is pulling away. It's 90,000 to 40,000. And by 3, it's getting ludicrous. This is the secret sauce behind the really big algo trading firms like Susquehanna, Jane Street, Rentec. What they're all doing, what all of the high-level algo traders in the world, they're blending multiple systems together. For example, Renaissance Technologies, the best ever to do it, they trade 1,000 different models on 3,000 different markets. That's what they do. You blend multiple systems together, and the whole is more than the sum of the parts. In the same way that holding a portfolio of 5 coins is better than holding one only, trading multiple systems is better. So carry is one of the strongest edges in finance. There's actually much more money. There's $3 trillion using carry than only 300 billion in trend. Even though it's not quite as good, you can see it's still okay. It's still great. It's like 53% at 1.1 sharp. Now, look at the magic that happens when we combine a 35-65 mix of carry, which is at 53% a year, sharp 1.17, with trend, which is 100% a year at sharp 1.71. You get the more is, you combine them both, and the more is, it's more than the sum of the parts. We go from 100.9% to 243% per year at a sharp of 2.15. Now, full disclosure, I think this is set a little bit too wild. I would like to see most of you target between 150 and 200% a year. I think at 243% a year with expected drawdowns of 34%, I think some of you would puke at that. I think 180 to 200% per year is really as hard as I'd like to see anyone push this. Sharp 2.15 is better than damn near anyone. Now, our system is custom for every user. We build the system that suits you and your goals. We can dial it up. We can dial it down. Personally, I want about 200% a year. This is the difference between retiring at 40 and retiring at 50. While you're still young, while you still got the energy, while you still got the desire to go out and explore the world. Like my parents are worth a lot of money, but they've got no interest in going out and exploring the world anymore. Like they're winding down. Like you want to make your money and enjoy the freedom while you're still young enough, while you can let your relationship with your spouse and partner flourish. Like since I got rich again, my marriage is great. Anyone who tells you that money doesn't buy happiness is a broke ass motherfucker. Like I'm a hero to my family. They tell me every single day what a hero I am, and it's wonderful. Like, honestly, it's just wonderful to be a hero to the people that matter most. So here's the deal. We got 3 tiers of FinRev available for you today. FinRev Silver, all of you get it. All of you get it for free for 6 months. FinRev Gold is just trend following. It is the most robust. It is absolutely unkillable. It is the Abraham's tank of trading systems. It will never die. It has never died. It's worked as long as money has been in existence. In fact, before money existed, trend following worked. You get 6,500 for 3 years of fully automated trend following trading. That's like 2,150 a year. Why do we make sure you do it for 3 years? It's not the kind of thing that you want to jump in and out of. You want to settle in for 3 years minimum. What happens at the end of the 3 years? We're not going to sting you again. If you want to continue going, we'll charge you 20% of the profits we make together so that we don't make money unless you make money. FinRev Platinum is our highest tier, our best system, our most technically sophisticated system. It's 9,500 for 3 years of fully automated trading, but it includes all of our systems, including future upgrades, and we've got a lot on the table. We've got a lot on the table. FinRev Platinum also gives you the ability to run multiple accounts. If you want to run a reasonable leverage account and you want to run a degen account, you can do that. If you want to split your risk between Binance and Bybit and DYDX, if you want to split it up, which is much safer, admittedly, you can do that. So in detail, FinRev Gold, 6,500 for 3 years. You get 3 years of automated algorithmic trading. You get a VIP onboarding with one of our expert crypto trader coaches. You get the same stats package and monitoring, all the dashboards that I showed you today. You can delay starting or pause this at any time. Let's say you think you've got some meme coin that you think's 100x. You can just pause, throw it in the meme coin. If it hits the jackpot, you can shove it back into FinRev. This is something that I kind of like doing. We've got our double your money guarantee. So the guarantee is if you aren't in profit after your first 12 months using the system, your 3 years doesn't start until you've doubled your money. You know how many people have ever had to claim on that guarantee? Zero. No one's ever going to claim on that guarantee because everyone's making money on this thing. Everyone has made money. Everyone will make money. This is a slam dunk. Let's look at FinRev Platinum. 3 years of fully automated algorithmic trading with FinRev. Both systems that we demonstrated today, the carry and the trend blended together. You get the same VIP onboarding, the same stats that I've shown you, every single thing. You've got a completely custom system designed for your goals. You're grandfathered into new systems, and we have 6 more systems on the drawing board for no extra charge. Same deal, you can delay starting and pause at any time. The trend following and cross-sectional carry, because they are what's called non-correlated orthogonal edges, when trend stops working, ideally the other one takes over and vice versa. So it's smoother. Same double your money guarantee. If you aren't in profit in your first 12 months, we'll let you use it for free until you've doubled your money. So if you just go to finrev.trade/call, Ian will be posting it in the chat. If you need a payment plan, a shorter commitment, you want a longer commitment, you know, if you're bumping around, if you're going to throw $1 million into this or even $500,000, we can probably do something pretty special there for you if you want. Just reach out to the enrollment staff. We'll take care of you. If you're an existing customer and you want to upgrade, you can. Everyone up until February 1st who bought the system is grandfathered in for all our future systems. No one's going to come back and sting you for extra money if you bought after February 1st. If you want the cross-sectional carry system, it's almost online now. We're just testing it with our own money. You can just pay the current $3K difference. Now, the call is not some sort of like high pressure telly shark thing. It's just with our enrollment form, just to make sure that it's a good fit for you, that you're going to be able to show a profit with you, that you're the right fit for our system. And some of you won't be. Like some of you, if you're starting with really small money, you should be just doing the 100x Coin Club. You know, we're not going to like shove you in this if it's not suitable for you. That's not okay, and it's not how we roll. It's not what I'll allow in my company. Yeah. So if you haven't got the funds now, if you're moving things around, just get the deal now. When you're ready to start, we start your time from them. There's no hurry. We're going to be in this together for years, like Ian said. Like this isn't a Tinder date. This is a love affair. Come over here. Let's hug it out. Yeah.
Nice.
Right. Well, I'm conscious of how much of people's time we've taken.
Sorry, I
Scott.
went way overboard, but there's a
It was
really good
great
question.
fun.
Does the API place all the trades at the same time as yours? No, because then someone would front run it, and then I'd be able to fuck all you guys by getting a better execution. It's randomized.
Nice.
And we have a bunch of different metrics to make sure that we're not widening the spread. But the beautiful thing about trend following in particular is that if you think about it, you got $1 million in trend, you got 100 positions. They're only $10,000 positions. And each position you're only upping, and you're probably only going up or down $1,000 every day. So even if you're trading $1 million on, and we're doing, what are we doing today? We are at $8.6 million that we're trading, and we're only in total trading up or down like $1,000, like $10,000 a day in most coins. So we're really not doing anything that's really going to be, if we're jamming $1 million in and $1 million out, people would start to notice and front run us and start to play games with us, and the spreads would start to fuck with us. But for 10 grand, it's like it's no one's gonna figure us out. We're not big enough to start stealing from. As we get to $100 million, that's going to change. But we've got the smartest people in the world ready to avoid that problem before it comes up. And how many clients are currently on FinRev? Question.
There's no call for the FinRev Lite. What will happen is a few hours after this event, an email with all the access details will go out to you, okay?
So as of yesterday, 546 accounts, $8,617 US. And we placed 5,593 orders, and 96% of them were filled at limit so we didn't pay the spread. So we're 96% of the time we're making no market impact at all. Yes, FinRev Lite is silver. Scott, how long will you need to test trend or carry? Been testing it a couple of weeks now. I'd hate to fuck up and lose anyone's money. I just probably need 3 more weeks to make sure that if anyone loses money, it's going to be me and not you guys. It's very impressive. Like, it's shit hot, arguably better than trend in its own way. But I know you guys aren't going to be very forgiving. If it's a lot more complicated than trend. Trend is like super simple. I can understand it. Carry is the stuff of like proper maths and Gaussian transforms and yeah.
The kind of stuff that makes a normal man's ears bleed.
I got a maths tutor, dude. Like, you shouldn't be afraid of stuff that you don't know. Like I'm not a particularly smart man, and I got a maths tutor who started me from like high school maths, and then we worked up to university maths, and now I'm fucking doing stochastic calculus. Like, it ain't that hard. There's nothing in this world that you can't learn in middle age, as long as you're willing to start slowly and not try and save your ass in your face at the same time. Like, I'm not that smart. I can learn it. You guys can learn it. You don't have to learn it. Like, I've done it for you.
There is that. All right. Okay, we should probably cut this, Scott. This has been an absolutely fantastic session.
Really enjoyed it, guys.
Really has. Ta-ra, everyone.